Hi everyone, welcome to the AI video. Today we're going to talk about why AI is an opportunity for all of us. And we're going to talk real use cases that we are implementing in our customers, and also talk about the future. How can the future could be very, very, very impressive using AI. With us is Jakob, our colleague from Devoteam Danemark, Microsoft. So thanks, Jakob, for being here with us and to join this video. Jakob, can you introduce yourself? What's your experience with AI?
Yeah, so I think my interest in AI started all the way back when I was a kid and watched movies like Space Odyssey 2001 and Westworld, where there was evil AI robots. But professionally, I've been working with AI more or less since 2017, putting it into solutions and into production, and been really happy in the later years to see it picking up so much. So all the things we learned over the years is now we're actually finally starting to apply them in a broader sense. And what about you, Pedro?
So like you, I think we are the same generation. So since I was a kid, I love the everything was related with science fiction and robots. But professional life, I've been working with AI since 2012 when I was in Microsoft. Earlier with generative AI, we started Gen AI Hub in the later 2022. So we anticipate a little bit when we started to use the LLMs. And now we are a leading company in AI in Portugal, Devoteam. So it's very, very, very good for us to be able to show here real use cases from our customers. So, what's your opinion? Why AI is so important today? What you are seeing in the customers right now?
Yeah, so I think there's been a lot of hype and buzz, obviously, over the years. But I think, especially around when ChatGPT came out, I think it was an eye opener for many. So I think that kind of kicked it off a little bit. Suddenly people realize what you can do with it and starting seeing real use cases applied. So what about you, Pedro? What are you saying?
When you talk about AI, have been there from 1956. So it started a lot of years ago. And since the generative AI, what happens with generative AI was a democratization of AI. Why? Because everyone was testing with ChatGPT, using interact with AI, in this case LLMs. So in the easy way, the way we talk, we write, and we create information. So it was very important for everyone to have that touch. And as always, we try to use in our personal space good things that we can apply for enterprise. So in enterprise space is a revolution. So we started, as you know, several years ago with predictive maintenance, predictive analysis, etc. So today it's like a commodity in using every industry, from the risk management, from banking, from social networks, algorithms, etc. So we are using AI for a long years ago. But now with generative AI, it's totally different. Why? Because they really have impact in the business. What we are seeing in the customer care space, interacting with customers with several solutions that we implement, and I can talk a little bit about this transactional chatbot that we have in a postal company here in Portugal that we have be able to in production for the last 4 months. And the chatbot is running very well. They rise the net promoter score for 40 points. They start -10, now it's +30. It's very good. And also they reduce the 30% the calls for the contact center. So it's very, very good. And the accuracy of the output of the information, it's have been in average 83%. So it's very, very good for the sector. As you know, there was some examples of the things that we didn't went so well. In this case, due to the job that we did and the work that we did with the quality of data, with our customer and the right tone and the right prompt, it's a success. Right now it's having a transformational path inside the company, and they want to use it a more interactive and self-service way of transactional services with the postal service. So it's very, very, very good. But if you see some EDC studies, you can see it return on investments for 250 more plus times for in several areas in customers. So again, it's a huge revolution. As a technology, we are adapting it. There are some challenges that we'll discuss further. Yeah, but your perception in Denmark and the work that you guys are doing is the same. Yes.
Yeah, so I think we moved from this, I would say, somewhat exploration phase where people saying this is really cool, can we do something, into saying now we actually want to do something. I think when we talk to customers, they still struggle a little bit of what should that something be. And what we advise when we work with customers, that is that if you're going to do any kind of AI strategy or planning around what you do, a good step to start is often picking your ambition level. And there's various ways you can do that, but one way that's good at doing that is that you can consider whether you're looking for AI for kind of like everyday use. I mean, are you trying to augment your employees to work better and faster? There are very valid use cases in that space. You could do the same with your customers in B2C solutions, but there are also certain industries where AI is actually being used to create completely new products and services. And I think if you haven't decided about what you're trying to do, then we often see it will end up being a little bit of chatbots to the employees, which can be fine. But if you want more, I think you have to have an active strategy to get it. Otherwise, it won't happen.
Yeah, so I agree with you. For example, we understand in the beginning there will be 3 types of use cases. The one that it's common to everyone, like the copilots from Microsoft, and they'll be able to embed it, those productive tools in their office offer. Okay, but it's going to be everyone is going to use it. Then you're going to have specific use cases for industry, for utilities, for media. There is some surveys very interesting per sector that can impact the use cases that could impact those sectors vertically, and also specific to a customer. And that, I think, this is the competitive advantage that we're seeing in the market with those use cases. It's that way that we do the difference. Okay, and our customers realize already that. So, for example, in a bank that we are working with, they are interacting with more than 7,000 documents in seconds. Okay, about their products. So their commercial area is interacting with a chatbot, and I think our vision is to work in a more enterprise-ready way. So what we are doing now is to implementing frameworks and platforms. We already did it in this bank that can enable today that manage this framework as enterprise-ready framework. They can use different LLMs. They can monitoring the usage of APIs of Azure OpenAI services and others. And also they can implement chatbots one day for another. So, and this gives us a capability for the business to understand if they want to interact, for example, create a chatbot for HR, they need to get the data well done about it to be with quality. So when you talk about data, you are talking about with AI project, there is always two data projects that we need to do. One is to identify the right data sources for the output that we want. The other one is the data quality. So you need to check all the quality and to make health checks of the quality of data. And mostly the output, okay. But today, they create a chatbot from one day to another. And this gives us a capability. How can we implement that in the future in a more industrialized way? What's your opinion on that, Jakob?
Yeah, so I think on the just industrialization side, there's both the technical things. At some point, you will need a platform, not necessarily from day one, but once you start doing more than a couple of solutions, you will find that it's attractive to have a platform and a more industrialized approach. I think the other thing we're seeing when you're starting is that it's important to pick the right use cases, and it is, the problem is not what you might think, at least in my experience, that it's hard to do. Obviously, there are certain use cases that are harder than others, but it's just very easy to pick something that is, I would say, organizationally unimplementable. And by that I mean you can pick solutions where your employees will be very unhappy when they hear you're about to do that. That's probably not a good idea, because there are a lot of other use cases where the employees will be very happy. So pick one of them. There are certain scenarios where legal will immediately say, no, you're not allowed to do that. We will talk a little bit later maybe about AI Act or other things, but there are certain things you are not supposed to do. Either they are morally wrong or illegal or other problems. But there are typically also a lot of use cases where there's no problems at all. So at least one of my advice is that, at some point you need to think about industrialization, but don't make it too hard for yourself on the first couple of use cases. Pick something that everybody will love and where legal will say no problem. So
yeah, I agree. The new challenge that we have today. So every company needs to respect the EU Act. So we are embedded that in our platform. So I think what we are doing now, it's the right way to do it, to be able to use the platform, but be respectful and respect the UEI, the legal area. So, Jakob, how can we help our customers, and why Devoteam it's positioned for that?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously really love working about AI, so there's a lot of exciting AI projects with customers, and we love to do those as well. And I will tell most customers, if they spend enough time, they will, of course, be able to figure out a lot of this on their own. But I think where we're seeing the most benefit from using Devoteam is that we can help them avoid mistakes and getting some good successes early. And that's mainly around two areas. So I think one area is picking the right use case. I think we have a pretty good experience on what to choose that will at least increase the likelihood that you will have a good result that everybody will be happy with. And the other is around how you industrialize the platform. We sometimes see customers that spend way too much focusing on technical details, where they could just have, taken a ready-made Lego block from a cloud provider and done exactly the same in inventing their own model. So I think, to sum up, that would be two things: the right use case and how to get something in production with as low effort as possible that works well.
Yes. Normally they ask us why we can differentiate ourselves. And normally I answer, we can do the bridge between the results that you want as a business and also landing as a technical solution. So we are very good on both parts. And this is very important for a customer, especially when you talk about solutions in AI that can impact their business. They are cutting edge solutions.
And I think one of the common challenges, and we sometimes fall into that trap, I think ourselves as well, is that if someone gives you a problem saying, I can build an AI that can do that, but what is also important to ask yourself is, should you really build it? Or if it already exists, why not just, take it from the shelf somewhere, pay a little bit of money, and then, you're good to go and you have a quick result.
And what about the future? What you are seeing, what's your vision about what the future will bring us?
Yeah, so I think that we will see an increased amount of industrialization of AI. We will see that people will apply the DevOps that we learned for software development over many years. We will apply that to the AI space. So we will start having more automated testing. We will have automated deployment of infrastructure and all those nice things that saves manual time and reduces effort. And also, I think right now we have a lot of focus on chatbots the later years. So how you essentially, you put text in, you get something back, and the big discussion is mainly, what model should you pick? I think we will see a lot more nuances there. So we will see both use of voice models. We will see people that may want to say, okay, we don't necessarily need the big expensive models all the time. We may actually be able to take a smaller open source model and fine tune that to solve a narrow domain, and maybe for compliance reasons run that on-prem sometimes when that makes sense. So I think in general a much more nuanced picture, and then more industrialization. And I think also we will see that the job roles will change. Historically, there's been a lot of focus on the data scientist role in inventing AI. I think we will see a lot more need for AI engineers that knows how to take AI that others have built and then put them into production and bake it into applications. So what about you, Pedro?
I agree with you. I think one of the biggest challenge that we are facing today is lack of skills. Okay, so there is an interesting survey last year that pointed at 55% of the projects in the organizations, they'll go ahead because the lack of skills. Organizations don't have the right skills for doing AI projects. And one of the challenges is that, okay? So for that, we at Devoteam, we created this internal training for the whole employees and also for engineers to create, to have the right skills for a prompt, for example. And that impacts our business and our customer business, okay? So we have that type of skills. Also, I think I see the future will be like we will start to industrialize the usage of AI. Okay, it's going to be a commodity as an office way of working and applications, but also will be with these platforms enterprise ready. Will be very fast the adoption of using it. So and we see results on that. Okay, the impact of that of using generative AI in daily our customers. I can tell you that, for example, with this bank, the change mindset of changing already started. So people are more keen to use the type of internal chatbots to get access the information in seconds. And when you talk about the data, you talk about these new models can access to unstructured data that only 1% was usage before. So you can access 99% of the data very easily in seconds. So you need to prepare that data to be able to consume. But yes, I think the impact is going to be very great, very valuable. There is a lot of studies on that. I believe in some. Some are science fiction, like we talked initially. But what I really see in real examples and real solutions, the impact is very high. We spend a lot of time on testing, monitoring, and rebuilding, then developing the solution. I can tell this chatbot we developed in 6.5 months. 1.5 months was to develop the right prompt, where is the information, where is the data, and 4.5 months for working with the data, testing, monitoring, etc. But today we have accuracy of 83%, and we need to maintain that. And for that is a different project from a traditional IT project. It is a project that we be able to constantly monitoring all the outputs and inputs of it. So to have that traceability is very important for that. So with that, normally in every solution that we provide to customer, we have this cockpit on top of it to monitoring constantly and record the thousands of interactions that the user has with the LLM.
But I guess also that's a lot of the solutions you do that are solutions working on the customer's own data. And I think that's also what we are seeing. I think we are creating quite a lot of these solutions using the concept of what is right now called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, which is essentially, as you know, about taking the company's own data and then applying a chatbot to that. And that fixes or solves many of the issues you have. If you're just using any open chatbot on the internet, it may hallucinate, it may give you wrong answers, it have a training cutoff date. But if you're using these RAG solutions, you will essentially have a chatbot that will answer, and you will instruct it to only answer concrete facts from your own organization. And I think my favorite solution right now we're working with that is for a hospital, where we have senior doctors are writing highly technical instructions in Danish filled with medical language to more junior doctors and nurses that they are supposed to follow. And one of the challenges they have today is in regular searches that they cannot find them, because, unless you know the exact keyword you're looking for and spell everything right, it won't find this medical stuff. But for that customer, we have demonstrated how to apply these retrieval augmented solutions on top, and then you can just suddenly ask in a normal language what you're looking for. It will give you the answer, and it will give you a concrete link to the document where the data is coming from. And they say this is really perfect. This is exactly what they want. and I'm very happy with that solution, because this is also something where everybody's using it, saying they much like this. I mean, they don't feel anybody's taking anything away from them. They're actually getting something they really want on top.
Yeah, I support that idea. I'm totally agree with that, especially with your final sentence. So there is a scare about what this Gen AI will take over about, but I don't think so. I think so. We're gonna have knowledge workers with steroids. Okay, so we'll be able to have something that will help us in our daily basis work, and we can invest our time, in other things, to research, to think about it, to be more creative. And that's something that we will be totally different from the AIs. So I think our competitive advantage will be that, to be more creative. There is a very interesting study about it. So how we'll develop a more creative side of the way we work, and less automatically and the mass task working a job that we did it in the last decades. So thanks a lot, Jakob, for your time. I think it was a very grateful conversation, very great conversation. And please, thank you for your time. And we'll keep in touch. You can see our information and new developments about AI in mclouds.devoteam.com. Thank you.
Thank you.